If you think deeply but hesitate publicly, people don't read that as intelligence. They read it as uncertainty. Not because you're wrong, but because you see too much to move cleanly. And the world rewards motion, not depth. Let that land, because this is where smart people lose ground without ever noticing. Chapter 1. Your mind isn't broken, it's overloaded. Here's what's really happening. Intelligence doesn't create certainty, it creates complexity. A less reflective mind sees one path, your mind sees 10. You don't just ask, can I do this? You ask, what happens after? What if this backfires? What if there's a better move I'm missing? What if the timing's wrong? That's not weakness, that's depth. But depth without a stopping rule becomes hesitation. Your mind keeps widening the map, and the wider the map gets, the harder it is to choose a direction. This is why you pause longer, wait longer, second guess longer. Not because you don't trust yourself, because you see too many valid options. If you've ever thought, I know what to do, but I'm just not sure, this next part changes everything. Chapter 2. The Browser Tab Theory of Doubt. Think of your mind like a browser with too many tabs open. Nothing crashes, but everything slows down. Closing one tab doesn't solve everything, but it restores control. Here's the key. Decisions close tabs. Thinking opens more. Self-doubt doesn't come from lack of belief. It comes from excess awareness. And the brain hates unresolved friction, so it delays. That delay gets misinterpreted by you and others as doubt. Chapter 3. Why thinking doesn't resolve doubt. Here's the trap smart people fall into. They try to think doubt away, analyze options harder, gather more input, wait for certainty to arrive. But certainty doesn't arrive through thinking. It arrives through commitment. Neurologically, the brain only reduces uncertainty after a decision is made. Until then, it keeps scanning. That's why more thinking often increases doubt instead of resolving it. Your mind isn't malfunctioning. It's waiting for a signal that never comes. Most people never catch this cycle. If you're still here, you're about to break it. Chapter 4. The Empty Theater Effect. There's another layer. Smart people overestimate how much they're being judged. Not because they're arrogant, because they're perceptive. You imagine reactions, responses, outcomes. But here's the biological truth. Everyone else is busy managing their own uncertainty. No one is tracking your hesitation. No one is grading your choices. The spotlight feels real, but the theater is empty. And when you believe you're being evaluated, every decision feels higher risk than it actually is. That pressure feeds hesitation, which feeds doubt, which feeds more hesitation. This is mechanical. And once you see the loop, it starts to loosen. Chapter 5. Confidence isn't missing, it's waiting. Here's what most people never hear. Confidence doesn't come from thinking more. It comes from deciding despite incomplete information. Smart people assume certainty must come first, but certainty is a byproduct of action, not a prerequisite. Less reflective people move faster because they don't simulate as much. They act, reality responds, confidence builds. Smart people simulate longer, so action gets postponed. And without action, confidence has nowhere to form. Pause and think. When did you last delay because you wanted more clarity? That's the trap. Now here's the exit. Chapter 6. The Evidence Gap. Here's the reframe. Self-trust isn't something you feel first. It's something you collect. Every time you act without perfect clarity and survive the outcome, trust accumulates. Smart people delay this feedback loop. They wait to feel ready, but readiness is produced after movement. This is why less analytical people often appear more confident. They collect evidence faster, not because they're smarter, because they move sooner. This is the gap. And once you see it, self-doubt stops feeling like a flaw. Chapter 7. Exit the identity of the one who must be sure. Here's where everything changes. Smart people attach their worth to making the right decision, but growth comes from making a decision and adjusting. The version of you who waits for certainty stays doubting. The version of you who decides, then corrects, builds authority, internally and publicly. Because remember, the world rewards motion, not depth. But you don't have to choose between them. You just need to move with your depth, not before it. Chapter 8. No one is coming to close your tabs. Let's be direct. No one is coming to remove your doubt. No explanation will finish the thinking for you. That part is on you. Every delayed decision votes for hesitation. Every imperfect action votes for clarity. And every time you move without full certainty, you reclaim authority over your own mind and change how the world sees you. Intelligence isn't meant to paralyze you. It's meant to move you forward. But here's the truth they don't tell you. Smart people don't see more to stand still. They see more to move better. Once you understand that, self-doubt stops running the show. The world stops seeing uncertainty and starts seeing what you actually are. Not hesitant, but loaded. If this hit, it tells me to keep making content at this depth. Share this with someone who's smart but stuck in their head. Subscribe for clarity that doesn't just motivate, it unblocks. Because the goal isn't to think less, it's to move with what you know.